Hey everyone, it's Mike. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow my journey. Let me tell you about my encounter with the famous fitness influencer, Tiffany, who just humiliated me at the gym. It's time for payback. As I approached her, I said, "Hey Tiffany, I'm a big fan." She responded with a snarl. "You're just another creep ogling me. Get lost, loser." Well, it's time to teach her a lesson in humility. I started a live stream and confronted her. "Tiffany, let's discuss gym etiquette and treating people with respect." She rolled her eyes. "Are you seriously live streaming this, you attention seeker?" "Yup, welcome to How Not to Treat Your Fans," I replied with a grin. I questioned her about her past behavior, and Tiffany stammered, trying to come up with excuses. As her humiliation grew, so did my follower count. Fed up, Tiffany stormed out of the gym, red-faced. Remember, folks, treat others with kindness and respect. I continued the live stream, spotting a group of spoiled girls. "Time for another lesson," I whispered. I approached them. "Mind if I join your workout?" They sneered at me. "Sure, janitor boy. Just don't break a nail lifting those baby weights." I calmly replied, "I appreciate your concern, ladies, but I'll be just fine." Then, I effortlessly lifted a much heavier weight, leaving them speechless. The gym would be friendlier if people focused on their own workouts instead of belittling others, I told them. My follower count skyrocketed as they slunk away, humiliated. My stepdad stormed into my room, smirking. "Mike, since you're so clever with that online show, let's see how you handle real work. You're still dirt poor," he sneered. I replied calmly, "Success isn't just about the money, you know." "Spare me," he scoffed. "I want you to work in the abandoned field down the road. See if you can grow something there. You're nothing without that internet fame." I smirked. Challenge accepted. I grabbed a shovel and headed to the field. As I dug, my shovel struck something hard. Digging deeper, I found a metal box filled with gold bars. I hid the gold in my backpack and returned home. When I saw my stepdad waiting, I decided to keep the discovery a secret. "Find anything useful?" he mocked. "Just dirt and rocks," I lied, smirking internally. But hey, you never know what might be hidden beneath the surface. As I walked away, I knew I had the upper hand. My stepdad had no idea what was coming. One evening, my stepdad invited his wealthy friends over for a dinner party. As they sipped their expensive wine, he couldn't help but bring up my living situation. "You know, my stepson Mike lives in a trailer park," he announced, grinning smugly. "Not quite the luxurious life, is it?" His friends laughed, their gazes filled with pity and condescension. I clenched my fists, but decided to play it cool. "Well, you know what they say," I replied with a smile. "Home is where the heart is." My stepdad snorted. "Sure, but I bet you'd prefer a mansion over that tin can you call a home." I shrugged. "Maybe, but I'm not too concerned about material possessions." Little did they know, my tin can was packed with gold bars, waiting for the perfect moment to prove them all wrong. One day, while digging in the field near my trailer, I discovered a golden katana. Its intricate design and shimmering gold captivated me. As I held it, I felt a surge of power and could suddenly hear people's thoughts. I was startled by a sudden knock at my door. Two men in suits stood before me, bowing. "You are the rightful heir to the Yakuza leadership, Mike," one of them said. "The katana has chosen you." I couldn't believe it. Me, a trailer park resident, destined to lead the notorious Yakuza. "You must be joking," I replied. "No, we are not," the other man said solemnly. "You have gained extraordinary abilities. It's time for you to embrace your destiny." As I adjusted to my new powers, I discovered another incredible ability, turning dirt into gold. With a simple touch, I could create piles of the precious metal. My wealth grew exponentially, but I kept this discovery a secret. Another day, I gained yet another power, the ability to see people's bank account balances on their foreheads. As I looked in the mirror, I saw unlimited wealth written on my forehead. My ability to turn dirt into gold made me richer than I could ever imagine. Despite my newfound wealth, I chose to maintain a low profile. I continued to live in the trailer park and pretended to be poor and weak. The visits from the Yakuza members made me cautious about revealing my true power and fortune. Then, I decided to return to the gym where it all started. the place where I had been humiliated and underestimated. But this time, I walked in with a newfound confidence. Thanks to my incredible powers and strength, I spotted a group of elite powerlifters working out, including some of the fit gym girls who had once mocked me. They barely recognized me as I approached them. "Hey, mind if I join your workout?" I asked with a smirk. They glanced at each other, amused. "Sure, why not?" one of them replied, clearly doubting my abilities. As we began the workout, I stunned them with my strength. I effortlessly lifted weights far beyond their capabilities, leaving them speechless. But that wasn't all. As I looked at them, I could see the amount of money in their bank accounts written on their foreheads. One of the powerlifters, with a balance of only $12.47, struggled with his weights. "You know, sometimes less is more," I quipped, winking at him. He looked puzzled, but the others laughed, sensing an inside joke. A gym girl with a hefty balance of $45,000 tried to show off by doing squats with heavy weights. "Impressive," I said, "but I've seen heavier loads, like the weight of your wallet, for instance." She blushed, confused but amused by my comment. I noticed another powerlifter, his forehead revealing a balance of $2 million. As he attempted a deadlift, I remarked, "Lifting that weight must be as easy as spending $1 million. Am I right?" He stared at me, wondering how I could possibly know. At one point, I turned to a gym girl who once mocked me, her forehead showing a balance of $75. "You know, money can't buy everything, like humility or respect," I teased. She nodded, taking the lesson to heart. Life was going well for me, but there was one person who I couldn't quite trust. My girlfriend Ashley. I met her at an exclusive event shortly after my powers and wealth became known. She was beautiful and charming, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she was with me only for my newfound wealth. So I devised a plan to test her true intentions. One day, I pretended to go blind, acting if I had suddenly lost my vision. I told Ashley about my condition, expecting her to be concerned and supportive. "Mike, I don't know what to say. Are you okay?" Ashley asked, feigning concern. "Don't worry, Ashley. I'm sure we'll find a way to make it work." As the days went by, she started to show her true colors. She began making comments about how my blindness would affect our lifestyle, asking if I'd still be able to provide for her expensive tastes. "Mike, how are you going to maintain our luxurious life if you can't even see?" she questioned me one day. I bit my tongue, keeping up the charade. "Well, I still have my other abilities. I'm sure we'll manage." One day, I received an alert from my bank about unusual activity on my account. Suspecting that Ashley might be behind it, I checked my account and discovered several unauthorized transactions. It was time to confront her and expose her true intentions. That evening, I sat her down for a serious conversation. "Ashley, I need to tell you something important. I'm not actually blind." Her eyes widened in shock. "What? But how?" "I pretended to lose my sight to see your true intentions. And now, I know that you really don't love me. You're just interested in my money. I've discovered several unauthorized transactions on my account. Care to explain?" Ashley stammered, trying to come up with an excuse. "Mike, I didn't think you'd notice. I thought you needed my help managing your finances because of your blindness." I shook my head, unswayed by her weak defense. "I've all the proof I need. I trusted you, and you betrayed that trust." I smirked and added, "You know, I can see people's bank accounts on their foreheads. I always found it funny that yours was a big fat zero." Defeated, Ashley hung her head in shame. "I never meant for it to be like this," she whispered. I told her our relationship was over, and she left without another word. One day, while walking through the city, I encountered a girl who seemed to be in dire straits. She looked at me disdainfully, assuming I was homeless because of my casual attire. "Ugh, why do homeless people like you always have to hang around here?" she complained, crinkling her nose. I raised an eyebrow and replied, "That's a bit harsh, don't you think? I bet you're fun at parties. By the way, it's ironic that you're judging me when your bank account says $852.67. Quite the fortune you've got there." I smirked, looking at the number on her forehead, revealing her own financial struggles. With a smirk, I decided to take this as an opportunity to teach her a lesson. "Well, appearances can be deceiving," I continued. "You shouldn't judge someone based on how they look." With that, I walked over to a group of people nearby who appeared to be genuinely struggling. I reached into my pocket, pulling out several stacks of cash, and began distributing it to the individuals. Their eyes lit up with gratitude as I handed them the money. As I was handing out the cash, I quipped, "You know, money talks, and apparently it has a lot to say. It's amazing what you can learn when you read people's bank balances. Like that guy over there." I pointed at a well-dressed man with a paltry $13.42 on his forehead. He might want to rethink those designer clothes. The girl who had dismissed me earlier watched in astonishment, her mouth agape. Who are you?" she stammered. I smiled and replied, "I'm just a guy who believes in helping others and not judging them based on their appearance. Remember, you never know what someone is going through or what they might have to offer. Maybe they're a secret millionaire or a wizard in disguise." As I walked away, I couldn't help but add, "And remember, a six-figure bank account doesn't always equal a six-figure heart. Sometimes it's the other way around." Walking through the park, I noticed a beautiful girl sitting on a bench, chuckling at a book. I approached her, saying, "You must be reading something hilarious. Mind if I join you?" "Sure, why not? I'm Lily. It's actually your live streams that I'm laughing at," she confessed. "Really? I didn't know I was in print now." We struck up a conversation, and Lily admitted that she was a fan of my witty comebacks and compassionate nature. "So, I've got a joke for you. Why did the writer fall for the live streamer?" I raised an eyebrow. Curious. "I don't know. Why?" "Because he had a way with words that made her heart skip a beat," she replied, blushing. I laughed, realizing her clever confession. "Well, Lily, that's the best punchline I've heard in a while. How about we get to know each other better? And maybe we'll write a few more jokes together?" As we sat there, exchanging banter, I realized life's most unexpected counters could lead to the most beautiful connections.